Going green with paints, or rather eco-friendly paints. That's our topic for the day. A term that we very often hear when we talk about paints is VOC or volatile organic compounds. There are many chemicals used in the manufacturing of paints and they are harmful both for our environment and for human health. Today we have Mr. Vishnu of Tilak Paints talking to us about the impact of these chemicals. He is also talking about his endeavor to create eco-friendly paints made out of natural materials. Friends, this is Only Green and Only Green is all about making our world a greener place. Please do join us in our journey by subscribing to our channel and also clicking on the bell button so that you don't miss anything. Thank you and over to you, Mr. Vishnu.
Hi friends, thank you Mr. Reddy for giving an opportunity to share something which majority of us are least bothered about. Every year we like to paint our home, furniture, etc. But have you ever thought of the impact of paint we are using on the environment or even on our health? The answer would be no mostly. Paint, lacquers and varnishes are among the chemical products that have a particular distinct effect on the environment and health. Before going into its impact, we should understand what inside a paint. A typical paint generally includes a pigment or a color carried by a resin or a binder, a solvent and a dryer. Apart from this, the new generation paint have various additives to create additional performance. When we buy a paint, we are concerned only about the color it gives, durability and its cost. We never think of the ingredients and its harmful effects. Majority of the paints available in the market are made from toxic chemicals. Heavy metals such as cadmium, lead, chromium are frequently used in pigments. Volatile organic compounds or VOCs are used in binders and carriers in paints. Toxic and environmentally harmful chemicals are used in preservatives, stabilizers, thickeners and dryers. Long-term exposure to these cause lung cancer, kidney disorders, palsy and other illness. On an average, people spend about 80% of their time indoors. Majority of people, especially those living in cities, believe that air inside their home is clean and safe. But the fact is, mostly indoor air is 3 times more polluted than the outdoor air and is considered one of the top 5 hazards to human health. Paints are the major source of indoor air pollution. The US Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) puts paint on its top 5 list of environmental hazards. Conventional paint can make indoor air a chemical cocktail, even after they have dried, as they continue to release VOCs as they cure. Now let's understand what are VOCs. When you walk into a freshly painted room, will you feel the strong smell of the paint? Then you are breathing in toxic volatile organic compounds. VOCs are organic chemical compounds that evaporate easily and reach the atmosphere. They are a major contributor to global climate change. Mainly, they are present inside binders and carriers in paints. The most important environmental impact from paints is the release of volatile organic compounds or VOCs during the drying process after the coating is applied. Once the VOCs reach the atmosphere, they participate in the formation of ozone. In the presence of nitrogen oxide and sunlight, VOCs react with oxygen in the air to produce ozone. Ozone is the most toxic component of smoke. Ozone attacks lung tissue and is very injurious even in small concentration. VOCs added to paint as binders play a major role in this invisible harm. When we look into its risk, modern chemical paints continue to emit VOCs for a longer period after their application. The level of VOCs inside your home can increase up to 1,000 times after painting or paint stripping. Paint and paint products, in fact, are the second largest source of VOCs after automobiles. Common VOCs in paints, primer and varnishes include benzene, formaldehyde, acetone, ammonia, toluene and xylene, all of which are well-known carcinogen and a neurotoxin. Most paints and stains contain VOCs and other chemicals that create toxic fumes that can linger indoors for a longer period of time. Some VOCs contribute to ozone depletion while others have non-health risks. Apart from VOCs, there are many other chemical ingredients which are very harmful to humans. Although lead has been banned for decades, other chemicals commonly found in paints have also been linked with significant health issues such as cancer, mainly lung cancer. Lung cancer has become a global problem now. from a rare disease to an emerging public health issue. We know smoking is the main cause of lung cancer worldwide, but there is a rise in incidence of lung cancer among non-smokers, and this can be attributed to the environmental and occupational exposure to chemicals. The World Health Organization has reported a 20 to 40% increased risk of certain type of cancer, in particular lung cancer, for those who come into regular contact with or work with paint. Various data shows that lung cancer has recorded the highest mortality among all types of cancer. A large number of workers are engaged in paint-related occupation, and there is increasing concern regarding the health effects of paint exposure due to the hazardous chemicals in paints. Many studies shows that painters are at an excess risk of lung cancer. Studies prove that prolonged or high exposure to paint and fumes can cause headache, allergies, asthma, skin problems, etc. The respiratory system and skin are the most significant routes for poisoning from chemicals in paints and stains. Even though the presence of hazardous chemicals in paints, such as benzene, chromium, and lead oxide, has been reduced in some countries, these harmful chemicals are still present in most of the paint products around the world. How we can mitigate the risk, or what we can do? We can definitely mitigate the risk I have mentioned if we choose the paint wisely and do the painting properly. The good news is that low VOC or even zero VOC paints are becoming more widely available in the market. Different countries have different standards for the allowed limit of VOCs. Some standards such as EPA says that VOC content less than 150 grams per liter is considered as low VOC. If you must use products containing toxic chemicals, you should only do it in a well-ventilated area and never allow children to sleep or play in a newly painted room until the smell has completely dissipated. Last year, UAE government has developed a green label for paints and varnishes according to the UAE system to control VOCs and heavy metals in paint products and varnishes. This regulation was mainly for paints used in schools and health facilities. So they are aware of the impact of VOCs and heavy metals in paints on children. Like us, there are many manufacturers across the world who produce low VOC eco-friendly paints. We at Tilak manufactures polished paint varnishes from an organic material known as cashew oil or cashew nut shell liquid. Decades ago, people were using traditional products from organic material such as natural dyes, and those time pollution and health issues were minimal. Now when people changed over to modern paints and other chemicals, we got gifted with various health hazards and environmental issues. The good part is, the trend of using toxic chemicals are changing everywhere. Like I said, we can mitigate all the health and environmental issues due to the paint if we choose the paint wisely.